What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Seth the Line Surgeon. And we back, baby. Double Tipsy talk in the same week. It's amazing. I'm doing big things. I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but never mind that. This is a follow-up Tipsy talk. And a lot of times I don't even do this, but I saw a good comment that sparked a good talk that I wanted to talk about, and I'm gonna get to that. If you haven't checked out my last Tipsy talk, shame on you. Go back and watch that. But if you have checked out that last Tipsy talk, then you already know what time it is. Tipsy talk. Alright, people, we back in the shed. I got this new light. I don't even know if it's making a difference, but fun fact, this light that's in the top of my shed here was in the shed when we moved in this house. We had a little small shed. I don't know if y'all remember that. It was probably like a 5x10 shed we had, and that's where I started my business out of. And then I got this in like 2014. So I moved that same light to here in 2014, and I just had to replace the bulbs. And of course, you know, technology, we got these LED fluorescent lights. I didn't even know they made these. But it's extra bright, you know. I do have a little ring light in here too, just for extra support light. But it's good. Anywho, enough talking about light. This video is a follow-up. I had a very good comment. I love all the comments. I want to let y'all know, please leave the comments. I read all of them. I might not reply, but if I give you a thumbs up and a heart, that means I read it. And so this particular one, he made a good comment. And he if you're not familiar with my last tips talk, I basically talk about raising your prices, and it should be a case-by-case basis. And he made a comment to the effect of, I don't have my phone with me, but he made a comment to the effect of, yeah, if it's an old grandma, of course I'm not gonna raise the price, but if it's somebody with money or lives in a nice neighborhood, then why not raise the price on them? And I'm like, bro, what if somebody did that to you? And I know you're like, Seth, like, how can a customer raise the price on me? Well, it's not raise the price like once you start cutting them, but they can typecast you into certain things, and I'm gonna explain that. For those who are long time subscribers, y'all probably heard me tell this story about the investor, but I'm gonna tell it for those who are not familiar with it. So I got a friend, and he referred an investor to me, right? And mind you, my friend, he has a business of his own, so he's a business-minded person. I don't know how he knows this investor, but this investor lives out of town. He doesn't even live in this state. He doesn't even live on this coast. And I guess he has a guy that goes around, finds him houses, buys them up. He flips them, makes money like that, right? So anywho, my friend referred this investor to me because he just bought a house in Richmond, and he needed to flip this house, right? And so the first step was to get the outside ready, right? So one of the things he said in the email was, be careful, because somebody's been squatting in the house. People know squatting in it. That means living in it for free. Like the house don't got no power, it's abandoned, and somebody's living there, right? So not to mention that somebody was squatting in the house. This particular house is in like probably the top 2 worst areas in Richmond. Like 2 blocks down you could get crack, like literally. So already nervous, and of course I went protected. And so I went, and the house was like so overgrown, like you couldn't see none of the windows because all the bushes was growing up in front of them. Grass was at least 2 foot tall everywhere. It was a small yard, wasn't a big yard, but then it was like a city house, so it had a sidewalk with a little like retaining wall, and it had grass growing out of the retaining wall, so that would have had to be removed, and it was a lot of work. And so then, not to mention that, it was like a full grown tree laying down on the side of the house. And when I mean full grown, I mean like you can't, me being my tall self, I couldn't even wrap my arms all the way around this tree. That's how thick it was, and it was 60 plus feet tall, 50 minimum. And so that was laying down. And so I sent I did a quote, and in the quote I kind of went back and forth with it, because one, my friend, which is a good friend, he referred him to me. And so, even when people like that refer people to you, you're not trying to give them a hookup, but you want to make a good impression, you know what I mean, for your friend. You don't want to give these outrageous prices and, make the investor guy feel like, to my friend, like, well, why did you refer him to me? He's crazy, So, but at the same time, you want to get paid your worth. So I knew I had to give him a quote of something I felt I was comfortable with, and blah blah blah. So anywho, I give him a quote for about $1,500, right? Mind you, $700 of that was the tree. You gotta remember, right? So when people cut down trees, the easy part is cutting it down. The hard part is hauling away, especially a full-grown tree. And you gotta cut it up into pieces, pick up these big heavy pieces, put it on your trailer. And mind you, I didn't have a dump trailer. I just got my regular trailer. So I would have had to take 2 loads like that to get this tree to the dump. That's how big it was. And I felt that was worth $700, And so then all the rest of the stuff was probably another $600, something like that. So he got the quote, and he was like, oh my God, this is so expensive, and blah blah blah. And I explained all that to him. I broke down the quote, and one of the biggest things that stuck out to me within our email, I knew, number one, I didn't get the job. He thought my price was too much. It was about $1,500, a little less. And number two, he said, if this was short pump, I would understand, but this is not even in a good area of the city. And so what he was saying was, so if he was not familiar with the Richmond City area, on the outskirts of Richmond has some nice areas. So one of the nicest areas on the outskirts of Richmond is the short pump area. And so he was basically saying, if I had given him the same quote on a house that was in short pump, he would be more willing to pay it. But because this house is in Crackhead Central, then it needs to be cheaper. And so what I proceeded to explain to him is like, it don't matter where the house is at. I still have to do the same amount of work. You get what I'm saying? I still have to haul away that tree, and just because the tree is not laying down at a house in Shore Pump and it's laying down in the hood, it don't make it less work. I should still get paid the same. And it's the same thing in reference to that guy that I spoke with that left that comment. With all due respect to him, I'm not saying he made a bad comment. I'm just saying he made a good talking point. He said that if it was a grandma, he would not raise the price on them. But if it's a person with money, then why not? Why does that person with money deserve to have to pay more than the grandma? Now, do I give grandmas discounts? Yes. But I'm not going to charge somebody more because I think they make more money. Like, let me give you this example. You got two houses, right? Because in my neighborhood, I have houses like this. I have, like, my house is like, my neighborhood was built in the 80s. Then you have another neighborhood with houses built in the 90s, and then you have another neighborhood with these big nice houses built in the 2000s, right? So say I was cutting some house that was built in the 90s, and the yard was just all weeds, filled with weeds. I could go knock that junk out in 15 minutes, zip, cut it any kind of way, because I don't got to worry about stripes. I don't really got to worry about edging or nothing like that. But then in the next neighborhood, in the neighborhood built in the 2000s, it's a nicer house, right? And this particular house has no weeds because everybody in this neighborhood is so in a competition to have a nice lawn that they pay True Green or whatever company to come fertilize their yard, and they got to get the nicest cut, right? You know, got to have the stripes and everything, right? So even though these houses are right in the neighborhoods next to each other, and one's twice as big as the other one, I'm gonna be charging the nice neighborhood house more, but I'm not charging them more because they make more money. I'm charging it because it takes me more time. The other house, I can just zip right through it. You get what I'm saying? And not even think about it. But this house, I gotta worry about not kicking grass in the mulch. I gotta worry about edging around flower beds. I gotta edge around the house, do all that before I cut it. And when I cut it, I'm gonna have to stripe it nice because this is nice grass. So it might take me an extra 20-30 minutes to do this house. So that's why I'm charging it. And what I'm saying is, don't charge people extra because you think they make more money. Because you never know people's situations. You gotta realize, like, everybody goes through things. You know what I mean? They might be in a nice house. They might have had a peak where they had a lot of money, but they might be in that house hurting, broke. You get what I'm saying? But they know they got to keep up the maintenance on this house because they got an HOA. So they got to pay somebody to cut the grass. And here you come along charging them double. You know what I'm saying? Like, they going to switch, bro. And so I'm not saying cheat yourself, but just be justified. Justified in what you charge. And like, as far as that grandma side, right? If you're gonna give a grandma a discount, always make sure you let them know how much you actually charge, so they can know you're getting a discount. Because what will happen, right, is I would say it's like a family friend or a grandma, and I would say I want to give this person a discount. Normally I would charge them $80 for this service. I'm only going to charge them $60. So what will happen will be I will send them an invoice for $60 and they would pay $60. Then the next year, when I might charge them regular price, I charge them $80. Then they're going to be like, well, I have records right here of last year when you only charged me $60. So now I'm sitting there looking suspicious because I'm trying to explain to them, well, yeah, it's $60. I charge you $60, but it's really $80. And they're gonna be like, bro, you just trying to get over on me and charge me more. So what I had to start doing, I send people an invoice for $80, and then I put in a subcategory discount $20. So now if they ever go look at it, they realize $80 is what I'm charging, but I'm giving you a discount. I had a particular lady, like I do my monthly services, right? This particular lady, when we first started off, I was doing stuff for her, and I think it was like $85, right, per month for, you know, for the year, my yearly quote. Then the next year, she liked that system. She's like, okay, well, next year. And so what happens is, right, so what I do the yearly quote, and then if they ask me to do anything extra outside the yearly quote, I just do that, and I tell them that's not part of the quote, and then I charge them separately. So then the next year, I go back and I'm like, all right, well, they asked me to do all this stuff, so now I'm gonna put that in a quote. So the next year I put all the extra stuff she asked me to do, and it came up to like $115. So that's what I charged her. So then this year she asked me to do even more stuff, and it came up to like $150 per month. And she's like, oh wow, that's a lot, blah blah blah. And I said, okay, but yeah, I can work with you. I could do $130. So this is a $20 per month discount. And she said, okay, I could do $130. But the most important part about that conversation is that she saw what she was supposed to be getting paid. She saw what she was supposed to be paying. So now if she want to go complain about the $130, you already know you getting a $20 discount every month. You know what I mean? So if you're going to give somebody, long story short, if you're going to give somebody a discount, make sure you are you establish exactly how much you're supposed to be charging, so they know. But that's all I want to talk about. It was another rainy day today. I love it. I love it because that grass is getting ready to grow. A cool rainy day. I don't even know what the temperature is. I don't have my phone, but and that's a little cool rainy day. We got a storage unit over the winter time, so hopefully I'm gonna get some of this junk out of here. It's so crazy. When I got this shed, bro, I used to have all my lawnmowers in here, equipment, all that. Now this junk is filled up with junk, and my lawnmowers equipment is outside. It's so sad. I just have to cover my lawnmowers with tarps. But we'll probably be moving in a few years, so the storage unit is good. I might even use it for a little lawn care stuff. Well, I'll probably definitely use it for some lawn care stuff, and then I could kind of write it off. But yeah, anywho, hope y'all enjoyed that. Hopefully we'll be mowing. I probably won't be mowing for another week or so. I just dropped my truck off at the shop, at the dealer, get some things taken care of. They were supposed to call me today, but I'll probably call them tomorrow morning. See what's really good. See how much they about to beat my head in for. So, anywho, thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe. Stay tuned. Yes, sir.